Hello, hello, welcome. Then put TikTok on. Hello, TikTok as well as YouTube. Hello, hello. Today, happy Sunday. Today we're talking about the changes. I'm not sure why, but I thought it would be a good topic to discuss. Today is not only Sunday, today is also new moon in Leo. So, a very good new moon. And also, Mercury retrograde is started today. So you probably will be finishing up something that you didn't finish, that you didn't finish in the last couple months. Especially if you have a lot of placements in Virgo, Gemini, Leo, you will be, you will see how you will be ending some stuff that is due to finish. So happy all of that, and let's talk about the changes. Um, so why did I decide to talk about the changes? Actually, I already have another dialogue about changes, something about are you ready for changes? I'm going to put, I think that there were like two of them, and I'm going to put them both in the description of this video. But I wanted to to talk today about why is it hard to change and how to overcome that hardness. Why I decided to do it, because this is the question number one that I get from my clients. Good morning, ladies. That get from my clients. Why is it so hard for me to change? Why am I doing, and there are no changes? Like it's constant struggle. Seems like from everybody. It seems like everybody wants to change, and they are not sure how to change and why the changes don't come as fast and as easy. And I will. So let's talk about this today, and let's see how I will give you my example, and I will tell you how I overcame it, and I will give you the steps to overcome it energetically. Because obviously we're energy, so there's really no point in fighting. If I will tell all the time I could not do this, I could not do this, this is where I will be pushing my energy towards. So we need to change the energy first, and then the changes will come. Now, so some people are faster to change, and some people are not as fast to change. Why? Because we all have different dominant energy. Like my dominant energy is water. Water is fast to change. Water can become ice. Water can become steam. Water can move fast, but water is very inconsistent and, so to say, has a lot of a lot of worries, a lot of fears. So for me, it's easy to change if I overcome my inner struggles, inner doubts, inner fears, inner worries. Now, if I would be dominantly air, it would be easy for me to change as well. But air is not consistent, so they couldn't stick to the plan, kind of. So if you have a lot of air placement, you probably are okay with changes, but it wouldn't be you it's not easy for you to kind of to be consistent with those changes. So people energy of air often don't see much changes in their life. I mean, they see changes, but those changes don't stick. So they could be it's like their life is constantly changing. At one point you need to kind of to have some kind of patterns. Now the energy of fire also doesn't mind changes, and they do like to change, but they don't have much focus, so they want to do actions. They believe that if they will do actions, the changes will come. And it's true, but sometimes the actions are not everything that you need for changes. And the hardest ones to change are energy of earth. Now, why is it the hardest? Because they're very grounded. They're so grounded to their current patterns that it's absolutely almost impossible for them to change their current patterns, to make their mind believe that something could be different. But once they will convince themselves, once they convince that it's possible to change, that they can change, um, obviously their results are probably the best, so to say, because they're consistent. You see with that. So this is just a little bit. How do you know what energy are you dominant with? If you still don't know, is energy of Earth has a lot of placements in Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Energy of Fire, a lot of majority of placements in Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Energy of Water in Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, and energy of air, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So see where your placements are. You will know where you're standing with the changes. But regardless, I had clients, and I still have clients with different energies, and they all have issues with changes. Or honestly, they all. Some of them don't know how to ground the changes. Some of them don't know how to start the changes. So everybody has issues. So let's talk about them today. Now, my body, whether you believe it or not, is a lump of energy, and that energy is filled up with information. Now, according to that information, my body is a particular shape. So everything around me, this lovely couch, these pillows, the art on the wall. I mean, everything around me is the information that my body, my consciousness has. Now, if my consciousness would have a different information, for example, that I'm an elephant, I would be an elephant. Probably wouldn't be talking to you right now. So we're just energy information. So you have your body, your physical body is only one layer of energy. You have other layers. This is your aura. Your energy fields make your aura. If you still don't know this, I mean, watch my videos on energy. I specifically describe the like all of this in them. Now, all that energy. So I could have an aura 6 meters wide, like really wide aura, and all that aura is filled up with information. Now, where I'm getting this information? The information is coming from my surrounding. Usually, it comes from our parents, from neighbors, from our teachers. So these are our society. They say we're a product of our society, and I 100% believe. When a child is born, his aura is almost empty. He's in energy, doesn't have any information for the most part, apart for the how the child is supposed to look and in which family he's supposed to be and what lesson he's learning in this life. But the rest is empty. So the parents are putting this information in a child. The child at that point is like a sponge. It takes anything and becomes anything. So if you will tell the child that he's successful, he will become successful. You tell him that he's stupid, he will always think that he's stupid. So it's crucial kind of to watch what you say to a little kid. But that's how basically we're filled up with information right now at this point. I mean, I know for a fact that the kids are not listening to me. Everybody who is grown up after probably like 12 years old, everybody has energy filled up with information. Now that information creates particular patterns in us. um, for example, you might be used to wake up really early and go for a run, or maybe you are used to have lunch every day at 12 o'clock, or eating soup for lunch. I remember when I was little, it was like this thing that you need to eat soup for lunch. I'm not sure where it came from, but it took me some years. I already was living in the United States. That took me some years and some really convincing of myself that soup for lunch is not needed that much. And why I convinced myself? Simply because I was working, I couldn't make myself soup, cook soup every single day or once a week or whatever. But still, even probably till 10 years ago, I still was trying to get soup. If I'm buying food and there is such an option, I would buy soup myself. So now this information and these patterns create our life. Um, uh, and we live according to those patterns. So basically, our parents put the not only our parents. I mean, people that we were surrounded by, maybe grandparents, if they're important kind of figures in your life. Maybe these are your teachers in the kindergarten. I mean, I started kindergarten when I was a year and a half, so I assume that that was very influential on me too. The neighbors, so maybe babysitters. I know some of you have were brought up by babysitters. So whoever it was, those people put really a lot of information in your energy and created particular patterns around you. Now you have to live with those patterns, and those patterns are creating a particular life. Now, why is it so hard to change for you? Because it is to change, you need to break those patterns and create new patterns. And for the most part, it's hard because the whole energy is already filled up with information, and it kind of it moves in a particular pattern. Now, if I will tell myself, okay, eating soup for lunch is no good, I mean, like it's the whole pattern that needs to break. But eating soup for lunch is not a big deal. I mean, it's something that I can live or I cannot live. But there are other patterns. For example, there could be such pattern. You have to be independent. You have to work. You want to get something, you have to work and buy it for yourself, like this, like stuff like this. So eating soup for lunch, yeah, it was significant. I remember, can you be my wife? Look, I'm already getting proposed. Can we wait until I finish? um, eating soup for lunch. So what was the people in the kindergarten were telling that it's crucial uh, for our uh, for our digestive system, that if you don't eat soup, that you will be sick all the time, and stuff like that. Now, it kind of in the child's head, it's not creating this pattern. So I always thought if I wouldn't be eating soup, maybe I would be sick, maybe my stomach will have issues. So problems, basically, it it became like significant in my life. But again, it is not as significant as something else, like relationship, for example. If you were brought up in a family where your mom and your father both were working and they were both independent, and now you don't want to be a working wife, you want to stay at home, it would be very hard for you to change the pattern because you didn't see it. You don't know how it feels when a wife staying at home and the husband is working and kind of supporting the whole family. Um, so it would be hard. Now, uh, our parents and our surrounding taught us what they knew best. I mean, that's impossible to kind of to undo what they already did. And there is a reason why we came into this particular family, into this particular society. I mean, there are lessons that we have to learn, and we can learn only through this this uh, through this family, through this society. So don't blame them. Just take what they gave you and continue a new development. Now, the older a person becomes, the harder the patterns are already in. So the patterns are already like put in concrete, and the harder it is to change them. I even notice from my clients, the clients that are in their 20s are easier to adapt, easier to change than the clients that are in their 40s. I see it. I mean, I see it in myself too. There is even a saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but honestly, you can. It's just that the old dog has to be seriously motivated. And I saw people change because they were very, very much motivated. Usually, people change patterns when it's a life death situation or when it is very crucial to them. And I will give you an examples of those. All right. So when I started to change, I mean, obviously, like everybody else, I did went through some changes in my life. I moved to United States when I was 19, and I mean, I always had changes, but those changes were some well, moving to United States. Yeah, it was a big change. I mean, obviously, I had some huge changes, but for the most part, all my changes were very uh, they were in the frame of my picture of life. So I always knew, no matter where I will live, I will work, I will build my career, I will do this, I will buy a car, I will have a house. So it was not something like I wouldn't be in my frame of life. There was no something like let me let me pack a backpack and just live in a shack somewhere in the woods, like this. No matter where I live, no matter where I end up, even right now I'm traveling, but I still always in a nice apartment with all the amenities in the somewhere in a nice city. I'm still following my patterns, you see. At one point, though, I was probably in my 30s. I was 32 or 33. I realized that something is off. Like I have a beautiful career. I had money. I was in a relationship, but something was off. I was never happy. Not 1 minute of my day. I was constantly miserable. I mean, there were like glimpses of some kind of light when I were getting something like at work. If I would get a huge, um, I don't know, like a huge bonus, I would be happy for maybe 15 minutes or so. And I started to understand that something is off. I need to do something about this. I could not live my life like this, like predictable and miserable, so to say. So I started looking for changes, and I started working with energy. I started studying energy. Now, once I started studying with energy, my energy became cleaner and it started expanding me. But it was expanding me, but I was not ready to change. Kind of, I had a lot of energy and it has no outlet. I basically was just collecting energy, and it was like a fire burning inside of me. I was not sure what to do with myself. So I had this like maybe when I was I think 33 or 34, I really started feeling this. And I lived in New York at that time, and I used to go to Prospect Park. If you know, it's like a huge park, and it has like a wild part to it. Some part of it. And I used to go there, and I used to just scream because I didn't know what to do with myself. I had this rage that I didn't know what to like what to what to do with. I felt like I was going in circles because it seems like I'm increasing my energy, I'm clearing my energy, but I'm still um, um, on the same spot. You know, it's like you have a car and you put a lot of gas in the car, and then you start pressing on the gas, but yet the car is parked. So you pressing the gas and the brake at the same time. The car is not moving. It's frustrated. It wants to move, but it's not moving. That's how exactly I felt. I had energy, but I couldn't make a step forward. I couldn't change, and it was very frustrating to me. I was not only shouting in the park. I used to also have a favorite tree in the park close to my to where I lived, and I used to sit there and cry. I mean, it took me some time to change, but I did change, and I will tell you how I changed. So I had one of the mentors, and she was tough on me. She was really tough because I am energy of water, so I can get a little bit, like I'm always in doubt. I could be in doubt. I could be maybe not. Maybe I should not. Like, okay, I will do, but then I will not, like this, like on and on and on. And so one day she asked me, are you happy with your life? And I said, no, obviously. I mean, I wouldn't be talking to you if I would be happy with my life. And she said, okay, then you need to choose whether you are staying with your life right now, or um, you're going to choose the life that you want and stick to it, and don't complain to it again to me. Like she said, I don't want to hear you complaining again. Whether it will be hard or not hard, you have to stick to this. You have to stick to your choice, to your new life. And it was hard for me because I kind of like to complain here and there. I mean, I like to discuss my misfortunes and how unfortunate and this, and how my childhood was not where it's supposed to be, and I mean, as everybody else. But once she gave me this ultimatum, I mean, I loved how she was because she was very tough with me like that, and I love that. She basically told me, if you are going to complain, I'm not going to work with you no more. And it was tough, but yet it kind of pushed me. She was the one who pushed me forward like that. So after her, obviously, so once I made the decision that I'm not going to live how I used to live anymore, that I am going to change whatever it will cost me, even if I won't survive this change, I still will persist in it. I knew exactly what I wanted. It gave me a good push, and once it gave me a good push, once I like stuck to my decision, I it was introduced to NLP, neuro linguistic programming. And once I started working with NLP, it all became very clear to me. It became clear that energy is not just enough. You also need to be changing your patterns in your mind, the information in your head. And from that on, I mean, the process went smoothly. I still do have a lot of old patterns that would be good to change, but those patterns can stay. You know, me thinking that I should eat soup is okay. I mean, I don't have such this thoughts no more. But I mean, there are certain patterns that don't bother me much, but there were patterns that will bother me a lot, and I broke them, and I created new patterns basically. Now I'm going to tell you how to do it. All right. So the first thing that you need to do, you need to realize that you want change. You know, some people are complaining. Some people are like, I even had a client. She used to complain about her husband. Every time I told her, "You want to divorce him?" She's like, "No, no, I'm just venting." I'm like, okay. So you need to be firm with your decision. I mean, does it work for you or not? Um, like I could be complaining about certain things, but I know they don't want them to change. I'm just in the mood to complain, so to say. Now, once you decide what to change, so you need to decide on something that's significant, something that you like, you know that you have to change it. So if it's your body, and you decide that, okay, I'm going to fix my body once and for all, and that's it. I will stick to it. I will stick to the new pattern of me being slender, or me being super healthy, or whatever the issue might be. Or if it's money, you decide, okay, that's it. Now I'm going to be rich. I'm going to make myself wealthy, whatever it will take me. I will just I will just stick to the plan. uh, I would suggest you to make one or two decisions at first, because if you will decide to change all the patterns in your aura, it will be very hard for you. Not It would be not only very hard, it wouldn't be very harmonious. You can't as a Reiki master, as a person who works with energy, I'm telling you, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be right. And remember, our energy should raise like this, like it goes up, up like this, little bit. We'll have to go a little bit down to ground the new pattern, but then we can go up again. Now, if you will just go like this up, at one point you will fall, and you fall even lower. It would be very hard to ground yourself on that high. Almost, I didn't see anybody who would go that high, like and don't fall. So you need to realize that you want to change. That's it, like this. Like you decide, okay, that's it, I'm changing. I remember when at one point I decided that, I mean, I always was a runner. I used to play soccer. I was good like that. But at one point I decided, okay, I want to change my figure completely. And I decided that, and I basically told myself, I have to start it now. That's it. So I got up from bed, and I didn't like, okay, we'll start from Monday, or we'll start from the next day. I just got up, I put my running shoes on, and I went for a run. That's it. I have like this kind of periods of time. But since then, since I made the decision, I always go for a run, and I'm pretty healthy, I would say. So realize that you want to change. So you need to be firm with that. You see, just complaining is not a realization that you want to change. It's not a decision. The decision is something that you're like, okay, enough is enough. That's it. I'm not going back, no matter what. The second one, you need to burn the bridges behind you. Like, you have to. Like, when I decided I'm not going back to the corporate world, I was firm, and I didn't know what I'm going to do. I didn't know how I'm going to survive. I didn't know how I'm going to live. Like, I didn't had no plan B, honestly. But I knew that I'm not going back to corporate world. I thought that I will. My patterns, my thoughts were a little different from what I'm doing now. But still, once I decided I'm not going to corporate world, my mind started looking like, okay, so we're not going to. What are we going to do? I mean, there must be some kind of options, and you need to decide like this. Like, for example, if you want to have a wealthy husband, you want to spend your summers on a yacht, cruising the Mediterranean. And you are married to the guy that's laying on the couch and has no ambition and no interest. Maybe it's time to divorce the guy, or maybe it is the time to change the perception about your man. If you don't want to divorce him, you want to cruise the Mediterranean with him. Maybe it's time. Complaining about him that he's lame and has no ambition will not change your life. You need to kind of make a decision that you're going to change, and next summer you're spending on a yacht in Saint-Tropez, something like that. Now, the third step is you need to decide exactly what is not satisfactory in your life. That was hard for me a little bit, because I used to like to complain, but I couldn't pinpoint what exactly do I want. So I would complain about my job. I would complain about my bosses, eventually even about my clients, even though I love my clients. But some of them could be hard. People that have money could be a little bit pain sometimes, especially if they just got the money. So basically, you need to decide what is satisfactory in your life from now on. What would be So if your husband on the couch is not satisfactory, what would be satisfactory? Does it have to be a successful guy with money, or does it have to be a young successful guy with money, or does he have to be a guy that loves you and generous to you. Like you need to have a clear picture. Without a clear picture, it will be very hard to create the new frame. Not only new frame, new patterns as well. You really need to know where you're moving. You see, when we were children and our parents were putting information and creating patterns for us, our parents or whoever else, they had a clear vision for us for the most part. I mean, my parents will always tell me, so you will go to university, you will study, you will do your career, you will make a lot of money and stuff like that. I mean, they were they didn't know exactly who I'm going to be, but they knew that I'm going to work and have a grand career like that. So I was growing with this pattern in mind for many years. So now you need to have a new pattern, and you need to kind of you need to have the picture first and then create the pattern. So decide what is satisfactory in your life from now on. Don't this is the thing, don't complain anymore about what is not satisfactory. Don't complain about your husband, don't complain about your work. All of this doesn't matter really. It is just the current reality that will be changed once you change your pattern. So let all of this be, because if you will be paying attention to what is not satisfactory, you will be wasting all your energy onto this non-satisfactory um, things in your life or people. All right. The next one is you need to allow your mind to entertain the idea that it could be different. Don't push yourself. Just think about it sometimes, and I will tell you why. If you will decide that you're going to change, and you're like, that's it, I'm changing from now on, and you will be very hard on yourself, very strict, especially if you have a lot of energy of earth, so an energy of fire energy. If you have a lot of this energy, you will be like really pushing yourself. At one point, your mind will start will rebel and basically will start, listen, you want to change yourself. Don't get me in. Like your mind will start protecting you from stress that you're putting on yourself with these changes. So you need to start kind of a little slow. You need to start thinking about, okay, who knows, like I used to do it before going to sleep. I used to lay there for like maybe an hour. I would do all my energy practices, and I would just lay and I would think, what if something that I wanted to do would be different. Now, if for example, if you are not satisfied with your relationship status, imagine how your day would go if you would be satisfied with your relationship. How would you feel? How would you how would you connect with your partner? What would you say to your partner if you're not satisfied with your money game right now? How would you feel if you will be good? Like if you have let's say 15,000, 20,000 coming in every month, how would you feel? Where are you going to invest money? What your thoughts would be? Just entertain the thought for now. Don't decide that, okay, I have to make 10,000. Should I take another job, or should I do drop shipping or whatever else people do over there? You just allow the thought, just the thought like this. So lay and dream a little bit, when you wake up, and then start thinking, who knows, um, maybe maybe it will happen, maybe it will not happen. And also when you're doing it like this, when you are just allowing yourself the thought, your body is not reacting um, is not defending yourself, you see, because if you are right now living on 3,000 a month, and suddenly you decide, okay, I want to make 15,000 a month, you don't know how your body will react. The reason why you don't have 15,000 a month right now is because probably your body is protecting you from something. It could be some ancestral traumas. Maybe your family at one point were rich, or maybe they saw people that were rich and they decided that being rich is not such a good thing, or something like that. So there is a reason why your body is protecting you from the money, from having larger sums of money. So uh, when you are deciding that, okay, that's it, I'm going to be wealthy, and you are firm with that, your body might be a little scared and might even push away this idea and this new pattern that you are trying to create, because it's not ready for it. So when you are just entertaining the idea, you are slowly letting the new pattern into your life. So like um, because it's not the reality yet, and it's not something that you want to change. Like, for example, you decide that your relationship right now are not working with the guy that's laying on the couch with you all the time. That's it. You know that it's not working, and you decide that something has to be done because your plan is to spend next summer cruising Mediterranean. But if you will decide, okay, that's it, then I'm divorcing the guy, your mind might start fighting you, because right now that guy is some kind of security for you. You wouldn't be married to him if he wouldn't be giving you something. So if you decide to divorce him, your mind will find 1,000 reasons not to divorce the guy. All right. So when you do that, when you start entertaining the idea, when you start imagining, and you will start feeling some kind of discomfort, you will see. I remember when I was changing, I always felt the discomfort. You need to pinpoint the discomfort and find, so that discomfort is what stops you from being there. You need to find that discomfort you will feel only when you're not pushing the idea onto yourself. So for example, you laying over there in bed and you're thinking, would be nice to make $15,000 a month after taxes, obviously. What will I do about it? You need to find, there would be somewhere some kind of something tense you will feel, and depending where it would be in your body, that's what blocks you. That's the energy that is blocked. So for example, when I was thinking about having $15,000 a month, I used to have tense, I was tensed in my third chakra and in my root chakra. So my security, my actions were not allowing me to be that wealthy. Why? Maybe because I don't have much masculine energy, and obviously there was some fears. Maybe I was afraid that if I would be making that much money, what I'm going to do with them, how I'm going to manage them. Maybe people will be taken from me. Why my third chakra was always tense? Because I felt like I would have to do even more work, and I already was doing a lot of work. So you need to find out, like, if your heart will be clenching, that means that you are not deserving it. That you believe that you don't deserve that something amazing. Or if your pleasure chakra, your second chakra is clenching, that means that you don't believe that you will enjoy it. You don't believe that there will be pleasure in it. You will believe maybe that you have to give something for it, something like that. So, or that it's hard to attain something. You need to find out. Or if your throat will start clenching, that means that you're not ready to even admit it into your life. Find where that will be, that discomfort, and then you will need to start working with the discomfort. I will give you an example. I wrote here my example. I remember that I was imagining at one point I wanted to get married, and when I wanted to get married, well, I wanted to get married for, anyways. I wanted to be in a relationship, in a happy relationship, and when I was thinking about being in a relationship, my whole body would just get so tense. And I will tell you why. I always thought that if I'm in a relationship with the man, he will be all the time in my face. Like, I wouldn't have my life. Like, he will be always bothering me. Like, he would want to spend time with me all the time. And maybe, I mean, I've been married a few times, but I never really allowed that somebody that close into my life. I always was trying to push them away. And you will find something something like that as well, depending on what you want to change. I remember I was doing this routine. I was laying in my bed and I was thinking about how nice it would be to have a relationship. What if I am in a relationship? What if I'm married to the guy and we're living together? And then my mind went crazy. I mean, I started thinking, what if we live in a small apartment and he will be cooking meat? I'm vegetarian, and that smell would be all over the apartment. I mean, I don't know why I was thinking like this, but and I was thinking all my clothes will be smelling like meat, and I wouldn't be able to do anything with this smell because he also lives here, and I don't want to fight with him. It will be so, like, my mind went really, really crazy. Next day, I told the guy I was dating I want to take a break. It was amazing that what my mind made me do. And the guy was like, "Why? We weren't even living together," but I got so scared, and I basically pushed him away. So you need to find that tension. You need to find what scares you from changing. What scares you to get some kind of change. All right. So once you find what is bothering you, you need to start softly thinking, what if it would be different? For example, if I'm so scared that a man will be in my face all the time and that he will be cooking steak every day next to my bed and next to my closet, I mean, why not to start thinking that I'm dating a very wealthy man and we have a huge villa and we don't see each other for weeks at a time and we're still living together and I know that he's close to me, but we're not into each other's face. So maybe he is extremely busy or he's extroverted, he has a lot of friends and he's always with somebody, or maybe he's traveling a lot and I'm traveling also, like stuff like that. So you would need to softly introduce changes into your mind. Just allow your mind little by little to imagine these changes. But again, you need to pinpoint first what is bothering you. You need to find that block, that trauma that is sitting in your body somewhere. Then once you will start introducing this change, um, you will allow your mind to see the possibilities. You will allow your mind to have a loophole, so to say. For example, if you are unhappy with your money situation right now, if you would want to be wealthier or richer or something like that, you would need to find some kind of loophole. For me, it was to win the lottery. I'll tell you why. Because I lived by myself in United States. I was not due to get any kind of inheritance, thanks God. I mean, my bonuses were somewhat capped. I'm not sure what is the deal now, but at that point, we were only getting bonuses on like 5 million investments, something like that. So it was always there was always a limit. You can't get above 15,000, I think, or something in bonuses. So I always knew that I wouldn't become filthy rich with my job. I will be comfortable, but I will never become like this. So my mind needed some kind of loophole, and for my mind, it was a lottery. I started buying lottery tickets. I would buy one once a week, and it would give me an opportunity. It was giving my mind a loophole for something bigger. So I always would entertain the idea. Well, I can always hit big in the lottery, and then what I will do, like that. You see, if you don't allow your mind any loopholes, if you don't allow your mind even a possibility that it might be, it would be very hard for your mind to look for the opportunities, for your mind even to entertain the change. If there is like, you really need to see a different picture, to allow that different picture into your life. If there is no proof, it will be almost impossible to change. So find the start introducing the change little by little into your life. Like I said, with the relationship, I remember I was basically relationship was never like a big deal for me, but I was introducing the change like this. I was imagining that I would be dating a man that doesn't need my presence 24/7. And honestly, I think that all men in my life are like this. I mean, I don't have anybody who would want to hold my hand and be with me like 24/7. I don't think like thanks God. I mean, I'm fortunate like that. And with money, the same thing. So when you allow yourself to have the loopholes, your mind is at ease. It's basically is thinking, okay, it's a little game. Let me play this game. Let me see what could happen. Especially if you have a lot of energy of Earth, you need to allow your mind to have loopholes. So once your mind has loopholes, it start looking around for opportunities. Like I will tell you, once I start allowing myself to think that I might win big, that any time now that I buy tickets every week, it could be any week. My mind is like I already introduced the change to my mind, and it's building new patterns. My mind starts looking for opportunities. And I will tell you what are kind of opportunities. I was offered to buy two businesses that year, like within like 3 months. I didn't buy neither of them, but I was entertaining the idea, and it was very easy. I understand that it's not really that hard to become wealthy and to have this income. Um, why I didn't buy them? Because one, I had to relocate to another country, and another one had like a lot of extra work that I didn't want to do, because I wanted to live the hard work kind of life. And my mind started looking not only for opportunities for business, but also for investments. I was always like a conservative investor, and suddenly I started being more risky investor. I started looking also for opportunities to get money from what I like to do. I wasn't at that time doing the energy alignments or candles or anything like that, but I still was entertaining the idea that I might be doing something like that. So my mind started looking around, started creating new patterns. Once I created the pattern that it's possible, my mind started creating the patterns on their own. I was only supporting it with energy and uh, focusing on those new patterns, basically. I didn't even have to do nothing. My mind was doing it on its own. Once I put the ideas, my mind started doing the work. All I had to do, as I said, just keep the energy where it's supposed to be, and keeping the right focus. Now, what else you need to do? You have to be really faithful to your new vision, and it's up to you how you're going to do it. You can keep on saying affirmations. If you decide that in your life you're going to be loved by everybody, I mean, just keep repeating, I'm loved, I'm loved. I'm not sure what will keep you in that state, but you need to be faithful. You can't be changing the vision every single now and then. There's no way. For the pattern to become strong, you need to be consistent with that pattern. You see, there was a reason why our parents were repeating the same things again and again to us until it stuck to us, because for our patterns to basically to become strong and confident. Well, I don't know whether confident is the right word for that, but they kept repeating it again and again and again until we kind of got it. Right? So the same you do with the child. I mean, if you have children, you probably do the same thing. You tell the child, don't talk to strangers, and then you see your child talking to strangers, and you're like, what did they tell you? Don't talk to strangers. And then again and again and again until finally he got, okay, no talking to strangers, and become an introvert. But what I want to say that this is exactly what you do with yourself. So you have a new vision, you need to stick to it. You need to do your affirmation, return to the state, meditations, do whatever you need to do. What you also can do, you can create your own resourceful state for the particular vision that you have. Now, if you didn't watch the video resourceful state, I'm going to also put it in the description for this video. It's important. Now, what is the resourceful state? Resourceful state is the ideal situation, how you would feel in the ideal situation for this particular problem. So, for example, if your issue is relationship, I mean, what would be ideal situation for you to be in a relationship? In our example, it would be to have a hot, young, rich, successful guy with the yacht and with the European Union passport, so you guys can tour the Mediterranean together. How would you feel in that resourceful? In that vision? How would you feel? You will feel like very entitled. You will feel very loved. You will feel very lucky, very successful. You would love that this is happening to you. You will love that this man is next to you. You'll feel confident. You will feel like you're walking on clouds and all that. So if you didn't watch the dialogue that I did on Friday, watch it, whether your man is right to you. So if you don't, you will feel like you're walking on clouds, basically. And you will need to have the resourceful state for every vision of yours. And you need to stay in that state for at least 30% of the time. It is, you know what, start with 10%, then increase it to 30%. So start with like maybe 2 hours a day you spend in your new state, in your resourceful state. Like me, I used to go for a walk, and for an hour I would pretend that I'm already what I was when I just started with this with changing my patterns. I would obviously buy a ticket, and after I buy a ticket I would go for a walk, and I would imagine, okay, so the Powerball right now is I don't know what Powerball is right now, but at that time, let's imagine the Powerball was 500,000, or not 500,000, 500,000,000. And I would imagine, okay, so I'm winning 500,000,000. What am I doing next? So they will take what is it, 49% on taxes, plus the state will take some, plus this and this and this. So I was walking around. So I have maybe 200 million um, to kind of to stand what I'm going to do. And I would just go and I would just, okay, so I need to invest some, I need to do this, I need to do this. The same in the relationship. Like I was imagining, so I'm living with this guy in a big apartment. What will I do? Are we going to cook together? Are we going to eat separately? Are we going to go out to eat like this? I would be entertaining this thought, and how would I feel about it? So it becomes comfortable for me. It became comfortable to me to have large money that I need to kind of take the responsibility for, that I need to invest, and it was very comfortable for me to be in a relationship with the man like that. So not as some kind of wounded man, but a man that is self-sufficient, that is wealthy, and who prefers to be with me. 30% of the time would be ideal, but be at least 10% of the time, at least before you go to sleep, and when you wake up, spend at least 15 minutes in this state, in this resourceful state for that particular vision. So your patterns will become firmer and firmer. You see, if you can even notice when you wake up in the morning, you will have some thoughts creeping into your head at once. Those thoughts are your current patterns. Usually, those are some kind of problems. But then you remind yourself, you bring yourself to the reality. You don't have to live with the current patterns. You can live with the new patterns that you're building. So, for example, a YouTube channel is something new for me. So when I wake up, I never think about YouTube. I usually think about stuff that I'm thinking for years now. But YouTube is kind of um, is a big part of my life right now. I would say I'm getting prepared. I do these videos. I mean, I really like doing what I'm doing right now. Plus, my clients also is a big part of my life. So when I wake up and I have all those old patterns, I'm like, okay, this is not my life now. I just basically push the old patterns away, and I think the thoughts, and I return to the new patterns to make sure that these new patterns are fixed, they are strongly positioned in my aura, within my energy field. And I want you to do that as well. Now, if I wouldn't be returning myself into new patterns, they wouldn't last too long. They will disappear very fast. So it's up to you whether you want to change it or not. Another thing is, you need to make sure that you have a strong energy. When your energy is weak, the changes are almost impossible. I'm telling you this as a person who study energy and mind. Whether you want it or not, you need to make sure that your energy is strong. So what I would recommend, you need to get all your energy back from everything, from everybody. You also need to make sure that your energy is healthy, and so eat at least. And doesn't matter what your diet is, make sure that you do eat, because it is a source of energy. Make sure that you sleep, make sure that you move your body. I mean, you don't have to be a professional athlete. I would love you to be, but at least do go for walks or something. I mean, do some kind of movements. And if you obviously have resources or something, you work with somebody like me to balance your energy, or work yourself if you have time. But energy is important. Whatever you will tell me, energy is important. Sometimes I work with people and their energy is just torn in pieces. I mean, their aura is like so chaotic, and there is some like there are lumps of energy instead of just energy being balanced. I mean, what kind of changes you can do with this energy? It would be very, very hard uh to change yourself. So working with energy important. You can do it on your own. As I said, you don't have to work with me or somebody else, but if you have the resources, do please work with somebody. It's much faster. All right, and the last one here, I wanted, it's a question. What if your life depends on this vision? What then? Would you be faithful to it? I wanted to end this subject, this life, with this question. The thing is, you see, we usually are ready to change. We're usually ready to to build the new patterns when we have no choice. If you read Joe Dispenza, you know very well that he broke his back and he basically was laying down, face down, for some time on his bed, and he has no choice. It's either he's going to work with his mind and get himself healed, or he basically was, I mean, be handicapped for the rest of his life, and he didn't want that. You see. But what is the point of why would you need to wait until you are in such situation? I remember I had a friend, and that friend wanted to change her money perspective. She actually wanted to become somewhat, somewhat wealthy. She didn't want to become wealthy. She wanted to be comfortable in her life. As long as she would have, her ambitions were not that ambitious. She wanted to basically be comfortable, live comfortably, and not think about money. She didn't even want to leave her job. She was okay with her job or with any other job as long as she had like a comfortable income. Now, I was telling her what to do. At that time, I was basically studying NLP, so I was eager to share it with everybody. Plus, I was working with energy, so I also wanted to kind of to share with her. I mean, there was a reason why she was in my life, but she was just like many many people I know, and as I was for many years. She was like, yeah, 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 but she wouldn't do nothing basically because she was not comfortable with her current life, but not comfortable enough to change something. So yeah, she was struggling with money. Yeah, she was living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, her cards were maxed, but she still was not as discomfortable to start something new until something happened. I'm not going to tell you what happened because I really didn't even ask for permission to mention this, but there was an emergency, and I didn't ask her permission because I haven't spoke to her, so don't. But there was an emergency in her life, and something like one issue after another, and basically she became homeless. She didn't had nowhere to stay, and I helped her a little bit to get them into them like there is special programs for people that needs to. And at that point, like she was desperate. It was like her life depending on her income. She really felt bad that she didn't had no savings. Her cards were maxed out, so she couldn't like take money from their credit cards. Nobody would obviously give her credit, so it was enough is enough for a situation for her, and she was very determined to turn it around, and she did. She did turn it around. I mean, a lot of complaining, as I said. There was a reason why she was in my life. A lot of complaining, a lot of this, a lot of that, but she did turn it around. Right now, she actually has her own house. And I'm very proud of her. And she's like, I wish I listened to you earlier. But again, you see, she had to fall to the bottom to kind of to raise up. You don't have to fall to the bottom. I don't have to fall to the bottom. And thanks God, I mean, I was, I started working on my patterns faster than anything like that happened. So what I want to say, ask yourself this question: what if my life depended on this? What if there is no choice? What if what if I either do it or what's the point of living? Kind of like that, and you will understand whether it's important for you or not. Most of the time, if you don't want to change, you probably will answer, well, nothing will really happen. But if you really craving the change, you will see how fast you will answer yourself, yes, I will do it. I mean, right now you will say it because I motivated you. Kind of this dialogue is filled with energy, so you will feel like you want to change. But in the like when you will be today, when you go to sleep and you will be laying in bed and you will be thinking about it. I mean, ask yourself this question. All right, that's it. Let me sum it up. If you have questions, ask. If you have any other questions, ask too. If I missed something, let me know. I think I don't. All right, so I started this dialogue because a lot of people ask me. A lot of people seem to have struggles to change. Some energies change faster, some energies don't change faster. Some couldn't ground the changes. Some are just all over the place. So we all have issues with changes. If you think that you're a person who for who it's the hardest to change, you're mistaken. Trust me, I work with different kind of energies, and different kind of energies have different issues with changes. So we're all in it. We're all in the same boat with it. Now, why is it hard to change? Because we have particular patterns that are stuck, concrete stuck in our aura, and and to change them we need time, and we need also persistence, consistency, and that, like, we really need to be in it to win it. We need to stuck to the new patterns. We really need to be motivated to change. And the older you become, the harder it will be for you to change. It has really nothing to do with the age. It's just the older patterns were longer in your frame, in your aura. Has nothing to do. Plus, usually people with age, their energy become weaker and more chaotic and more broken. So I mean, it just happens. It's normal, normal kind of evolution of us. I mean, I wouldn't think about it too much. It's just how it is. Nothing else. Unless you are constantly working with energy like I do. I mean, this is just a normal thing. And you don't need to worry about this. It's okay. But if you want to change, there is something that you can do about it. And you will have to treat yourself almost like a little child. You don't need to treat yourself, but you would start to treat your mind as the mind of a little child. Now, you don't need to be angry with your past, obviously, and with the people in your past, the people that added these patterns into your life, that introduced these patterns, and you just stuck with them. I mean, they did what they knew best. I mean, obviously, they have the patterns, so you don't even waste your energy and your kind of focus in the past. That's it. What's done is done. I mean, thankfully, you're here, you're alive, and you can think. So that's already an amazing thing that your parents did for you, or whoever else was there. And you would need to change. You would need to have a really strong motivation for that. Now, how to change? You need to realize that you want to change. Like, you want to change. You don't want to complain. You want to change. Remember, mind the difference. You see, I will bring you my example. I love my body. Yeah, it could be a little more toned, but you know what? I don't even want to change. I want to complain that I want a more toned body. I mean, at one point I will get to maybe Pilates or something like this, and I go for runs. I might feel like that, but you see the difference. This is something that I don't want to change. I just want to periodically complain about this. But there are certain things that I do want to change, and I'm working on them very hard, and I'm not giving up on them. I'm telling you, I'm not giving up. You like maybe my Mars and Capricorn, but I'm very. If I want something, I get something. So you need to realize that you want to change something. Don't try to change many things at once. Do one or two, maximum three, spheres of your life. So relationship, money. If you want to change everything at once, it will be very hard. Your attention will be so dissolved that it will be that your energy will be just very thin. It won't be. You won't have enough help, inner help to create the new pattern. Remember, you need a lot of energy to create a new pattern, and if your energy is all over the place, it would be kind of hard. So not more than three kind of issues that you want to fix. Then you need to decide now or never. So you burn the bridges. That's it. You are not going back. Whatever happens, you are not going back to that. It was hard. I remember, especially when I told my friends, I'm not going back to corporate. And I remember my whole was like, what if I will go to corporate? And then they will be telling you, Anastasia, you said you're not going back to corporate. I remember how I was worried about that. But I'm like, I was happy that I told them, because I was serious. I'm not going back to corporate, and that's just it. And then you need, if you need to, you can tell somebody like that. You can even write to me and say, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. Then decide what is satisfactory in your life. So we understood that the corporate world is not for me. Now, what I would love to do? Because I obviously, I'm young, I'm healthy, I do get bored like that. So I need to do something. I can't be just sitting and doing nothing. What is satisfactory? And I did want it. I have a lot of knowledge about energy, about relationship, about NLP. So I wanted to share it. I mean, I knew that this would be part of my life, even though at that time I didn't even know how I'm going to incorporate it into my life. And then allow your mind to entertain the idea that something could be different. Don't push yourself. Just think sometimes, from time to time, especially if you're doing something routine. Like, for example, you're vacuuming, or I don't know, you doing like something new routine, not you cooking, And then you start thinking, what if I'm not working corporate no more? So I wake up and I don't have to rush to work. I don't have to open my laptop. I can just take my time. And then what will I do? I mean, am I going to spend 2 hours working, or like how my day would be? So you start introducing this new idea into your life, a new pattern, slowly, little by little again. And then when you start imagining that, you will have some kind of discomfort. So for example, when I was thinking about I'm not working for corporate no more, I was thinking was getting a lot of discomfort, different ones. But I was thinking how I'm going to have medical insurance, um, uh, where I'm going to, obviously, what will be my incomes, yes, but how I'm going to this and that. Like there was a lot of fears in my life, a lot of worries. And once you will start finding that discomfort, you would need to think what would be different. Like what if the situation won't be like this? So for example, um, my concern was the medical insurance. I don't know why. I'm a pretty healthy person, but obviously, it just I always had the medical insurance. So I always was thinking, what if I can find a medical insurance that I can pay myself and it won't break my bank or something like that, like this. So you would need to find where the discomfort is. Remember, that discomfort is the one that is holding you from the new patterns and the new life. It's that discomfort. If you want to be extremely wealthy and you're not wealthy right now, there is a discomfort that protects you from being wealthy, and that's just it. There's nothing else, unless you are absolutely like, I don't care about them, about being wealthy. That's not important for me. I want to become super intellectual, or I want to have an out of body experience. I'm really, I just want to meditate all day long. So something like that. But if you are inspired to be wealthy and you are not, then there is something that stops you from it. So find the discomfort and start introducing a different kind of thoughts and different patterns. Again, if it's relationship, find what are you afraid of relationship? Why are you not living with the man if you want to live with the man? What are the fears? Could be completely different fears from mine. Mine is, I'm like this. I don't like when people are bothering me when they're like, especially in the morning. I don't like when somebody's in my face all the time. But you might have a different fears. You might have a fear that the guy will not be spending time with you, and it's very important for you to kind of to sit and watch Netflix together, something. So find the discomfort and fear. What are you afraid of? And then start introducing different thoughts. So what if the guy that you're with, even if he's super busy and super like active, what if he will say, "How can I make you happy?" And you will say, "Well, let's make a like a tradition to watch 1 hour or one movie a day together. Like it would really make me happy." Whatever it is, I mean, I don't know. You will need to find your kind of fish. So allow your mind to have a loop. So not a loop, open loophole, basically. Something allow the mind to have like a little window where it can find the new opportunities and the new ideas. um, and once you will allow just a second, my TikTok. So once you will allow your mind to have this to have new ideas, your mind will start finding opportunities. You will see. You don't have to do nothing. I saw it so many times. Your mind will start looking for opportunities itself, and will find the opportunities, and will start introducing those opportunities into your life. Might be completely different. So if you want the guy to like to watch Netflix with you, maybe you will find a guy that's maybe you will find a guy that already likes to watch Netflix. Maybe it's also his tradition. Just a second. I need to return TikTok somehow. Uh, so that's basically why is it? Huh? And be faithful to you. You have to stick to this. And the last state, obviously. And the last one, when you will start thinking about it, start thinking whether your life depends on it or not. If your life is really dependent, I see it from with my clients. Most of the time, they have issues with their, so they could not change in a particular area of their life is because it's not life and death situation. So they complain, they're like, yeah, I want to, but it doesn't really, like, their life does not depend on it. Because their life does not depend on it, the mind doesn't really want to do any work. Now, but if you will decide that you want to change, and you will tell your mind, okay, that's it, we're changing, we're moving with it, with the change, then the mind will start looking for the opportunities. You will see. I checked it with myself and with others. The clients that come with a particular issues and they depend on their issues, they always change, always. Now, there are certain issues that they are not dependent on, that it doesn't really matter whether they will change or not, and those issues are slow to change because there is no urgency. There is no urgency. There is no determination. There is no consistency usually because they are not as important. Like, for example, usually the important ones are health, money, especially if somebody depends on the money. Again, I had a client she was supported by her husband, and plus she had some inheritance from some relatives of hers, so she didn't really need to make money. Do you think she was successful in changing her patterns around money? Do you think she became wealthy very fast? No, she wasn't, because it was not urgency. Now, on the other hand, we were working on something else with her, and she changed very fast because of that, because she knew she had to change. It was very important for her in that life. Really, her relationship would depend on this. Her overall life was dependent on this. So basically, basically decide that you want to change, and stick to it, and allow your mind to change slowly, and work with your energy. Energy is important whether you want it or not. You hardly can even think for yourself, not even think about the new change, creating new patterns. Remember, to create new patterns, you need energy on those new patterns. Okay, if you have questions, ask. If not, then we will end this dialogue. On Tuesday, there will be a video that will come up. It won't be a dialogue, it will be a video, because Tuesday is a little busy for me. I will start energy alignments. The video is already uploaded, but it's not visible yet. Let me tell you what it will be. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I'm not sure. It will be a surprise. It's uploaded, but I'm not sure it is. And then I will see you on Thursday at the same time. We will discuss the masculinity, how to keep the masculinity clean, the one that I promised for today. Because as I always say, men in your life are the reflection of your masculinity. Now we need to make sure that our masculinity is where it should be, so the man in our life will be amazing. We probably will discuss it on Thursday, unless I will change it somehow again. All right. Again, happy new moon. Don't forget to kind of to make plans for this upcoming month. Yeah, I know it's Mercury retrograde, but still you should have some kind of ideas of what you want it to be. And enjoy your Sunday, and I will see you all on Thursday. Don't forget, please, to like, comment, follow, because I want my channel to be big, um, and and not sure, but do please help me with that. Okay, bye TikTok, bye YouTube. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your Sunday.